Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a little bit of Mulan. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, although I'm in the office where I am a financial advisor and I do give financial advice to all my clients. We are going over today why I am investing in Bitcoin. Not advice what you should do. Each financial situation is different, but just going on what I'm going to talk to myself, what I'm thinking about it. This is specifically going with Bitcoin. Crypto in general, it's just so disruptive. The fact that some companies, let's say like Square, are taking their platforms and being able to say, oh, you can buy Bitcoin with this. Like in New York, where I am, you can't. You cannot buy. You cannot buy NFTs or any type of exchanges because New York has like this ban on it. Like I tried to buy some Pokemon NFTs this morning. Everyone type in Pokemon down in the comments, and it wouldn't let me. Saying like this is not supported in your state. A lot of things, whether it's Binance or I think Binance is just the U.S. It's not allowed in. But the fight has kind of already happened. Whereas I've said this quote before, where Gandhi says, first they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win. And that's something that I had kind of come to terms with. This it's been a couple of years, but I'm finally in. Spent about 10 grand on it in the last couple weeks. Absolutely just selling stuff from Pokemon cards to taking stuff out of my businesses in order to fund it, because I believe that it is going to, by the end of the decade, 2030, just what I believe, probably about $1 million per Bitcoin. And I know what you're saying, Chavez, taking those crazy pills again. I've said this before with Tesla. I've said this before with so many other things. I've actually said it with Bitcoin before, when I had the chance to buy it in like 2014 for like $500. But I have said this before, Bitcoin is very, very disruptive. And when you have companies like Square, which is like taking the underserved, a lot of banks did not like Bitcoin for the longest time. And they were saying like, okay, well, banks, I feel like banks just don't like poor people because they set these like barriers in it, or that you need a certain amount of money to have a bank account. Square is just like, nope, Cash App, you don't need one. Here's bank account, here's routing number, buy some Bitcoin. Go nuts. They're serving the underserved. That's why they had their stock for a long time. Serving the underserved. And what is Square CEO Jack Dorsey, also Twitter CEO, what is he doing with Jay-Z? They're taking their funds, some giant fund that they're taking, going to Africa, and they're trying to make Bitcoin one of the main reserve currencies in Africa, uniting all of those countries and having Bitcoin as their one central currency. They're trying to do that with India as well. India has banned all crypto, same as Venezuela. Shout out to my Venezuelan brothers. I'm from Peru, but yeah, those communist countries, those socialist communist countries, are just awful, and I feel so bad for those guys. Either way, moving on from that, that's something where the people have decided, okay, well, I'm just going to mine crypto because the value of this cash that you guys are printing is worthless, so I'm just going to mine crypto. I think the penalty for that is death in Venezuela, and I'm not sure if it's India as well. But yeah, I think India, you just go to jail. But either way, it's a little ridiculous. But the fight is mostly already had because Canada has approved 2 crypto ETFs. And remember I was saying banks, U.S. banks they don't like poor people and they don't like crypto. Well, they kind of are now. Citibank just released a 108-page paper basically saying, yeah, we're bullish on crypto. Basically them saying that not only JP Morgan said that you should have 1% of your investable income in crypto or in Bitcoin. Citibank basically said that it could be a international reserve currency because, again, it's a finite amount. There's 21 million of them. But out of that 21 million that can only be mined, there's definitely minimum 1 million that are never going to be seen again because people had it in their wallet and they just lost the password. They can't get it back. No one can get that back. It's impossible. So that's something that is just something to think about. That finite amount we think there's only so many of, there's actually less than that. Speaking of which, the CBOE seeks approval to list a Trailblazer Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. So they just filed that literally yesterday. And I'm going to read you that article. It says CBOE, that's Charlie Bravo Oscar Echo Global Markets Inc., is seeking approval to list and trade shares of what could be the first Bitcoin exchange traded fund in the U.S. Why is this important? But Chavez, Canada has two already. Okay, Canada doesn't have as much money as America. Their GDP compared to America, yeah, not so much. This American ETF exchange could be about 27 times bigger than what Canada is. Just a little food for thought there. CBOE, in a Monday filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, sought the green light for the Van Eck Bitcoin Trust. Van Eck, very similar to Van Wyck. If you're from New York, drop your favorite Van Wyck story down below. Van Eck Associates Corp. in December applied to start an ETF tracking the largest cryptocurrency. It is at least the third time since 2018 that CBOE has teamed with Van Eck to seek a fund approval. But now, in the SEC, there are a couple of people on there that are pro-Bitcoin. Last month, Canadian securities regulators cleared the launch of Purpose Bitcoin ETF, making it the first to gain regulatory approval in North America. That really puts a lot of pressure on America to do the same thing. Why does America give Apple and Amazon all these tax incentives, or any company tax incentives, where if you spend any amount of money into R&D, that's a tax write-off? Why? Because they want America to stay on top. They can't be letting China and Italy and Canada to get ahead of them. Why this is good is because if other countries are already doing it, America does not want to be left out. Nope, if they care about its citizens, which I think they just care about America. They just, even if you hate certain other people, but at the end of the day, we're all Americans. I remember, after 9/11, it was just okay, we're all Americans. These next 6 months, next year, don't hate each other. Just heck those other people. In the military, yeah, you could have some bad blood with someone when you're in the States, but downrange when you're deployed with someone, hey, no, we're on the same team here, helping each other out, because that's what's happening here. And I'm not saying that 9/11 or being in the military is the same as being on the same side as crypto, but if you care about America, which I think at the end of the day we all do, at least my American viewers, you don't want to fall behind. You don't want your country to fall behind. You want to do what it takes to get your country not just competing, but being ahead of the game. They had said that CBOE said in its filing, the cryptocurrency ecosystem has progressed significantly, citing, among other things, products investing in Bitcoin futures, as well as the emergence of regulated custodial services for their digital assets. Even Cathie Wood, CEO of ARK Invest, one of the best investors of our time, of our generation, going to be known probably better than Warren Buffett in the future. Again, years down the line, not now. He's still king, kind of. She says that everyone should have Bitcoin in their portfolio. U.S. regulators have so far refrained from approving a Bitcoin ETF, citing worries about everything from market volatility and industry manipulation to thin liquidity. That's true. If you have a bunch of people that decide to go stonks, that decide to go GameStop on this, buy it and hold. Now, granted, Bitcoin already has $1 trillion market cap. Kids in their basement are not getting, 10, 20 crypto. They're not getting 10 Bitcoins. And, they're holding it like you can with GameStop stock. You can't take your stimulus check and buy some. You can buy bits of Bitcoin. Even me, $10,000 worth of a Bitcoin, that's, a 1/5. That's 20%, give or take on where it is any given day. But that includes a prior attempt by CBOE that was withdrawn in January of 2019. That's over 2 years ago now. However, cryptocurrency market has gotten increasingly robust as big names and institutional players have piled in recently. Like I said, Jay-Z, Jack Dorsey of Square and Twitter. Elon Musk putting $1.5 billion of his war chest, which I get, $20 million in the war chest. Okay, yeah. About a small amounts going into Bitcoin, but at the same time, he's not going to take that and he's not going to trade it. He's not going to say it's up here now, I'm going to trade there. No, he's buying that, he's holding it. Because that goes on Tesla's balance sheet, driving up the stock price. That is genius. For anyone that has a company out there, you put some of your balance sheet in Bitcoin, oh my God, that is going to go through the heckin' roof. This is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. That's just what I'm doing. Where do you think I got that $10,000 from? Yeah, I'm putting that on the balance sheet for one of my businesses, as that's what he's doing. And it's going to reflect very, very well on the stock price, because that Q1 which is about to be over in the next 4.5 weeks, yeah, it's going to look really, really good when come April when he does a Q1 phone call and Tesla's suddenly profitable by an extra $1 billion. That's why. Also, President Joe Biden's nominee to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, like I said before, is seen as potentially more sympathetic to crypto than prior officials have been. Shout out to Joe Biden and Gary Gensler down below. Go Joe. Everyone comment, go Joe down below. This time around, we're much more optimistic than we have been in the past, CBOE Global Head of Listings Laura Morrison said in an interview. Quote, the market has really changed. There's a tremendous amount of information relative to the depth and breadth, end quote. CBOE was the first U.S. regulated exchange to offer Bitcoin futures in December 2017. The exchange stopped listing the contracts in June of 2019. A regulated product listed on the regulated exchange would allow for improved pricing, and the ETF should be less expensive than rival products on the market, plus trade relatively close to its net asset value, Morrison said. She said the debut of the Purpose ETF in Canada shows there is a demand for such products. Quote, we're really excited about being the first filing in this wave, end quote, Morrison said. Yeah, that's incredible. That's something that I just wanted to go over. Bitcoin is here. Like I said, I think this could be $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. It's going to sound crazy, but you heard it here first. All right, guys, I love you all. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Goodbye. Meow, meow, meow.